White House is U.S. Trade Representative Ron Kirk. He was on Capitol Hill this morning defending President Obama's efforts to complete free trade pacts with South Korea and then later Colombia and Panama. Both Republicans and Democrats argue the administration isn't moving quickly enough on all three. Ambassador Kirk, welcome to Street Smart. Thanks for joining us. We want to first ask you, get this question out of the way. Your name has been floated as the possible next Secretary of Commerce. Are you interested in that position?
Well, what I'm most interested in is talking about my testimony before the Senate Finance Committee today, in which I think we clearly established that we have a shared goal with a number of members of Congress, that we use the power of our ability to open up new markets, whether it's through new free trade agreements, such as we proposed with Korea and we're working on with Panama and Colombia, to help us sell more goods abroad, knowing that if we do that, we're going to create jobs here at home. And what I'm most excited about is the opportunity to continue that work that the President has charged us to do just that.
I want to get to that, too. And, you know, Orrin Hatch said he's never seen such foot dragging. I want to know why he thinks or sees it that way. But we want to ask you first, I mean, if you were offered this position, would you take it?
Well, I just don't want to get involved in hypotheticals. I am privileged to serve the president as his trade ambassador. We've worked very hard over the last 18 months to not only move around the world and engage our trading partners, but more importantly, to move around the country and talk to people not only in states like Senator Hatch's and others that you heard from that want us to go forward aggressively with our trade agenda, but we've heard from many Americans and businesses that frankly just didn't understand the rationale behind our trade policy. But the result of that time and that effort is I think we've built a stronger bipartisan sentiment in favor of a thoughtful trade enforcement policy that's manifested itself with incredible support for this Korea Free Trade Agreement, and that's what's most important to us right now, using trade to create jobs. I
hear what you're saying, and I'm sure you guys are working very hard, obviously, but, you know, it's not just Republicans in Congress. Max Baucus, a Montana Democrat, also says the time has come, in fact, the time has passed to ratify the Colombia trade agreement. Why is Congress seemingly getting angry here if you guys are doing the best that you can?
Well, one thing, you're going to have to talk to a lot of members of Congress, obviously, and we appreciate the support and the encouragement of Chairman Baucus and Ranking Member Hatch. But I also have talked to members on the other side that believe we have to do with Colombia and Panama and use that gold seal, that gold standard, if you will, of a free trade agreement from the United States with Colombia and Panama to strike as good a deal as we did with Korea. We don't differ in our objectives. We do differ a little bit on how we ought to get there. And President Obama has made it plain that for our administration, if we're going to enter a trade agreement with another country, there are certain expectations we have of them, and one of them relates to how they're going to treat their workers, how they're going to respect the rights of labor. And we are closer than I think many believe we are. We've proven in Korea that we can walk away from the table to get a better deal, but we think we have a fortuitous moment now with the Santos administration to get a much better deal for America with Colombia.
Ambassador Kirk, it's Peter Cook here in Washington. Are you reconciled to the fact, after what you heard today again from Chairman Baucus and others, that the Korea deal is on hold, is effectively going to be held hostage until you solve these problems with Panama and Colombia? Korea is not going anywhere, is it?
Well, I think that's a question better put to, frankly, Senator Baucus and Senator Hatch. We are ready. We have negotiated an agreement with Korea that will allow America to potentially add $10–11 billion in new export goods and help create and sustain 70,000 jobs. If we believe in the power of that and we believe in the need to get those jobs now, we don't think we ought to wait. And we've made it plain. I said to Senator Hatch today, we're ready to sit down and begin working with the committees on the text today. At the same time, we've also made it plain we're going to move forward just as aggressively but thoughtfully as we can to conclude our work with Panama and Colombia. So I don't see the two, Peter, as being an opposite. We should move forward with Korea while we work to bring Panama and Colombia to closure.
But Ambassador Kirk, and we've just got about 30 seconds here. I mean, bottom line, do you think they're going to go through individually or together? I mean, what do you think how this is going to play out based on what we're seeing out of Congress at this point?
Well, what we've said from day one is we want to move these agreements as our partners get to a point we have a deal that we can live with. We're ready to go with Korea. We think we're going to be in a very good place with Panama and Colombia quickly, but some of that's going to be up to them. But I don't think there's any compelling reason to wait to move forward with an agreement as economically compelling as the Korea trade agreement is.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Ambassador Kirk, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you all.